Hello.
We are live. Welcome to the Cannabis Closet podcast with Canna Queen and MJ, everybody.
Woo-hoo.
We're going to give it a few minutes to let a couple people get into the room. Some guy on TikTok right now is asking to see my feet, but I need to know what price I should quote him for that. They're not the prettiest feet, but they are worth seeing. I'm not going to lie.
So I lost my lighter and then I found it and now I can't find my bowl.
Y'all, she is home by herself.
A whole different kind of technical issues over here
She's home all by herself. As you know, we can't see you in the counter, especially if you're coming through on Twitch. So let us know that you are here. Let us know that you are here. I don't do nothing for free, baby. I'm talking to the TikTokers over here. If you guys want to see me and my podcast partner live, check out the link in the caption or the link in my bio. What's up? What's up? Thanks for joining us. I'm glad you're back. Welcome back. We got a couple of listeners. It looks like from YouTube.
Your beautiful wife commented the other day. She says, "You know who will be there."
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, "This has got to be his wife. This has got to be his wife."
Yes, cousin.
Do I have the? I don't. Let me pull the disclaimer up because I haven't got that up yet. Because we are going to need this disclaimer today.
I honestly have not moved from this spot either, which is lovely, which is really concerning.
Because the ghost. We got this. And we got this. Okay, this is the one I need.
Oh, the ghost did give me back my toiletry bag. I got that.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So real quick for everybody. Hey, what's up, Kelly? For everybody listening, it is about that time. You are about to get highly educated with the Cannabis Closet podcast with Canna Queen and MJ. This is an adult content show with no limitations on subject, language, or actions. Opinions, views, and expressions may or may not be that of the hosts, their guests, and their subsidiaries. If you aren't sure, don't worry. We'll tell you, or you can just take a good look at our faces. Mine's going to be red today. It's time to get the session started. Thanks for rolling up and showing up, and enjoy the show. We have a special guest today. Stanford Fraser is back on with us, and we're excited to bring him through soon. But of course, we have to do the top of the day stuff. So, do you have anything for our history section?
I do. I still have, we have our one little article that has a few notable.
I'll let you start there because my rant is heavy.
Yeah. So as everyone knows, we try to go with highlight the months that are on the calendar, but also for due reason. And May is Asian American and Pacific Islander Month. Also, which I did not actually, my bestie was telling me that it is Tourette Syndrome Awareness Month.
Shit. I'm sorry. That was a bad joke. I'm sorry.
She's actually been posting facts about that. And the posting thing is actually kind of a misnomer.
It's not a complete misnomer if you are on TikTok at all. But it's super random. It's super random and not, like they're not like, oh shit, about a situation. But it's like you're in the middle of a conversation, balls, and something like that happens. You know what I'm saying? But it's like a tick. It's more of a tick than a.
They're ticks, right? And I have, a couple of patients that do, suffer from it. And they've actually been able to train their auditory responses or their verbal responses. And I was talking to Carrie about that, and she's like, that's actually very intelligent, because it's a neuro thing, and it's and so to train yourself to do that versus letting it control, be the tick that it is. And so she's been sharing a lot of Tourette's awareness.
Do you know if there's medication that can help with the tics and the neurological responses?
So I don't know, prescription medications. I know our particular patients found benefits from utilizing cannabis. one of them also would, asked, said that Marinol actually benefited them a
Okay.
little bit more than the actual, the plant, methods that
M-
he was using.
Maybe
So
because of the isolation of.
I'm not sure. I don't know if he, did any actual like documentation for himself.
Right.
It was kind of a,
I would love to have somebody who lives with Tourette's to come on and tell us more about it. I would love that. We try to do that from time to time. We during November last year, we were communicating with a friend of ours for Epilepsy Awareness Month so that we can make sure that we brought you facts about epilepsy, myths about epilepsy. And then he came on for one of the shows to kind of discuss his experience and how cannabis has helped him with as part of his treatment. It's just a part of his treatment. It's not his full treatment. But yeah, so I absolutely think that would be,
I can ask Carrie if
yeah,
she'd be willing to come on to she's very well versed in it for her own reasons, and I'd let her explain that. Well, but
right.
certainly we can ask.
Yeah, for sure. I would love that. We have a couple of amazing guests coming up on the show this coming month. We have Jake is coming back with to talk to us
Yay!
about his 1 year anniversary as Aria Petty One, and the drag scene in Durango and how that's just exploded since he created Aria. I mean, it is amazing. There's a drag show every week in this town, at
I
least
was
one.
gonna say, can we get there live to a show one day?
Yeah,
Like,
he does Thursdays, but we could maybe do a special show from on location on a Thursday and just be set up for the drag show. That would be kind of cool.
and maybe
I
King
don't
Eddie
know.
can be there.
I will be honest with y'all. Y'all would have to be here to watch it live. Because I feel like we would have music infringements that will mute us for future viewing. I think like YouTube will probably mute us for future viewing, etc., based on the music that's played at a drag show, because we're not licensed to play it. So
Issues.
if we do that, we would definitely have to do it as a live event, and then we would not be able to repost it because the repost will probably get taken down. I mean, we could try. Of course, we'll try. But the repost will get taken down, and there's no need to. Well, I mean, maybe the audio repost would be fun to listen to. I don't know. We'll see what it sounds like. So yeah, let me talk to Jake about that a little bit more. But he'll be on June 1st, which is the beginning of Pride Month. And then we have what do we have? We have a cake maker. We have some advocates coming on that have their own LLC or LLP. Let's see what else. Who else do we have coming on? We have a group of women coming on that we met at the Marijuana Mansion.
Yeah,
They're
they're
gonna
designers. Oh my gosh, I can't
women-owned
wait to talk to
businesses.
them.
It's
Yes.
amazing. It's absolutely amazing.
Christina's coming on at the end of the
Christina's
month.
coming back at the end of this month, so she'll be on May 30th to talk to us about what's going on in Missouri. Speaking of Missouri, I'm planning a trip in the next few weeks out that way, so I'll keep you guys abreast of what that looks like. So the people in Missouri, we can plan some time together because it's going to be quick.
Get on the calendar.
Get on the calendar.
Get on the agenda. I
you're-
did not get to ever. Did I go there? No, I don't think I ever went for a show. I feel like just as a regular.
But can I tell you something? Okay, so that reminds me, the word tracks reminds me of a couple of men that we met last year.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, we should contact them and see if they want to come on.
Thank you. Yes, I will. I'll reach out to them and see if we
gosh,
can't get them on.
Oh my gosh, yes, Missouri
Yeah.
and our friends. Even, oh my gosh, that would be that was the best B&B, I tell you.
I love that B&B. They were into puppy. They are, not were. They are into puppy play. And when I say into it, I mean into it. Like they got leather masks and collars. They wear their collars in public. There's
it's about
some
companionship. It's
lower extremity attachments as well, so you could have a tail or
it's and they don't call it a fetish, it's a lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle. That's correct. We will not lifestyle or fetish shame on this show.
No, it was such a joy to meet them and talk with them, and I really hope that we can get in touch with them and that they will
I will reach out.
Come on and join us. Not even a segue into this, but I did get my Asian American Pacific Islander history fact up.
Okay, let's do it.
And today we are highlighting Flossie Wong Stahl. She is a PhD, and she was a Chinese American virologist and molecular biologist. She was born in 1946 and unfortunately passed away in 2020. Oh. She is responsible for cloning the HIV virus. When the acquired immunodeficiency syndrome, AIDS, became a global epidemic in the early 1980s, scientists didn't know how it was transmitted. It wasn't until Flossie Wong Stahl, PhD, first cloned the human immunodeficiency virus, HIV, in 1985, that researchers were able to identify HIV as the cause of AIDS. Her work allowed others to determine the function of HIV's genes and understand how it evades the immune system's natural defensive response. Dr. Wong Stahl had been studying retroviruses as part of her work at the National Institute of Health, and her discovery led the organization to later develop antibody tests. Her contributions in the field of HIV/AIDS also helped to determine that using a drug cocktail or several drugs at the same time is a key to managing HIV. She was cited as she was the most cited female scientist of the 1980s with almost 7,800 citations.
It's amazing they even gave her credit back then, by the way, you guys.
Mm-hmm. And her research in HIV/AIDS was highly significant in the field of virology and immunology, which helped lay the groundwork for her understanding infectious diseases such as COVID-19 today.
Oh, thank you. May she rest in her peace and power. That's amazing. If not for her, where would we even be?
And that's from the ideas.ted.com article. If y'all want to go ahead and read all 8 at one time, we are just highlighting, and
we're just going through the list.
Might have to catch up because we did miss a couple days.
Yeah, we did.
Maybe do 2 one day.
The reason I just want to reiterate that the reason that we think it's really important to highlight, we've talked about this, that we have to have a month for everybody. Otherwise, white people wouldn't even recognize that other cultures exist and exist differently. So with that, we want to continue to acknowledge the good works of people who are not white cis men who do great things.
Yes.
Great and amazing things. We know, but so does everybody else. So,
yes. Agree. Yes, exactly.
We want to talk about them too. So there's room for everybody. Everybody can have a slice, Okay. So.
Oh, and so with that, June 1st or June, we are doing a call out if we want, if you're listening to this, and we still do have a couple of days to fill. And we'd love to speak with you, highlight your business, highlight you, and all encompassing.
All that you do. Yes. But also I'm going to reach out to Trax. I think Trax is his name online.
It has 2 X's.
I wrote it down so that I could remember. I know where to find him.
Yeah, so we'll just have to.
So I'm gonna try to get him and his partner on for a show. It would be fun. Why not? Let's highlight things that happen in all the different places that we don't necessarily get invited into. I'm so interested.
Yeah, bring understanding to something that people don't get to talk about openly a lot.
Let me tell you something. Just each and every one of you, for the most part, like listen, don't be a creepy man. Just don't. And you know what I mean by that. But generally speaking, I feel like every single one of my friends that says something like this to me, I know this is too much information, and I have responded by saying, no, it's not. It's never going to be. I want to know. I want to hear it. I want to know. Listen, I will never ask questions that are inappropriate. I won't do it. It's rude. It's none of my fucking business. But also, one of my trans friends was like telling me about her different procedures that she was going to need. And this is probably too much information, and I was like, oh no, please tell me all of it. I want to know all of it because first of all, I'm never going to experience that. Like me, I've been female for 45 years. I'm going to be female for as long as I'm in this body. And as long as my soul resides in this body, that I'm going to be female. So I'm never going to experience that. Tell me fucking everything. Tell me all about it. I don't want small talk conversations. Yes, I am interested in what your favorite color is. No, it's not all I want to know. I want to know everything. If it's something I'm never going to experience, I want to learn about it. I want to read about it. I want to talk about it. I want to hear your experience about it. And if you don't want to tell me that, that's fine. I respect that. I'm never going to ask you. But man, if you have the desire to share, I have the desire to listen.
Exactly. I'm like,
I got questions now. Now when you tell me stuff, I feel like, can I ask questions? Because I got questions, you know? So yeah, it's never too much information, you guys. Tell me all of it. All of it. And I think I actually said that to them. I was like, tell me everything. When they told us that they were into puppy play and started showing me pictures, I was like, oh my God, please tell me everything.
I mean, we opened it up. I mean, my intention was just complimenting him on his bag.
I was like,
which was shaped like a little stegosaurus. I mean, I noticed the other things, but why I started talking it was because he had a little stegosaurus bag, and I was like,
he had a little dog tag on and everything.
Yes. But I'm like,
they were adorable.
Like, no worries, I don't care. But then when they said puppy, yes, it all came out, and and then we went to their Instagram, and it would just. From there, we were like, okay, we're friends now.
Yeah, so I will reach out to them. We're like, hey, we want you guys to come on our show in June.
I was telling one of my boys back at home about it. He's like, what is that?
Let me show you.
And I was like, and I told him,
I'm always like, let me show you. I told so many people about them when I first got home. I need to know everything.
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't want to leave Stanford in the lobby too long. So let's get on to the next segment, which is why is Canna Queen mad? And I got two. So I'm going to go through the first one really quick because I'm actually lining up a guest to get into depth about this. But my first anger is there's been another, it's every day, I'm sure. I don't get alerts from other states. But there's been another recall. This time in Oklahoma. This recall is huge. It's pages long. It does not say what facility that the product originated from. It does not say who the product belonged to when it all started. So there is no way to trace it back to any of the facilities. When you ask the OMMA about this, they say contact your dispensary and they can tell you. But the people, like, on ours, I always tell you, but like, it's Fresh Fresh Start LLC, whatever it's called, right? I'll say because it's listed and their license number is listed. The OMMA is not releasing that information.
But wasn't there an article where like there was an influx of out-of-state product that hit Oklahoma and they were like, okay, they're not tracked, not metriced, no systems.
Yeah. We've talked about this a little bit on previous shows, but their system is both amazing for the person who wants to get in and be a part of the regulated cannabis industry, but also a shit show, yo. It's a fucking shit show getting products from like underground out of state, like illicit market out of state. Like where are you getting it from? If you're getting it from a dispensary out of state, it's super illicit because they don't allow that. No state allows that except Oregon, but it's not a federally, there's no interstate commerce on it because of the federal anyways. On the news, it was 140 products and the facility was shut down, but still have they released to the public who the facility was? Because that's super important, because we need to know if it's a product that you purchase from your regulated dispensary these regulations are in place for your safety, for health and safety purposes. And now we've skipped that step, right? Like now you're telling us there's a recall, but you're not telling us what batches to get rid of. Or what,
right,
or what company,
even
or what facility I'm not supposed to be working with. Like, what is, like, as a consumer, what does it say on the thing? So anyway, we're going to have a guest come on about that. And we're going to talk about what's going on in Oklahoma.
140 products.
It's insane. It's insane. It's insane. It's worse than what we have going on here. That's dirty. Be careful, Oklahoma. Yeah. She knows the name of the facility. Okay, good. So that's good information. But maybe we can get I'll download her TikTok video that she posted today, or we can download that and then we'll share it on the day that she's a guest. We'll share it before she comes on. So that would be an interesting little twist on what we do on this show. Okay. Is everybody sitting down? Is everybody buckled up? Because y'all already know. I'm not going to skip over this today. I made notes because I don't want to miss a single one of my points today on this. I will not cry about this. Okay.
I might start crying while you're talking, but I'm here.
Everybody knows what happened in Texas, right? I think I read a report said 19 children and 3 adults, but those numbers keep changing. So there's that. This is an ugly conversation we're about to have. Okay. And it's graphic. I am so motherfucking tired of thoughts and prayers. This isn't a good time to talk about it. Don't politicize it. I am done with that. Listen, I have admitted on this show a number of times that I am a pro-gun progressive person, right?
Yep.
But I am pro-regulation. Y'all, Texas is putting more laws on a woman's body than they are on guns.
Ridiculous.
It's absolutely ridiculous that they are willing to sacrifice the children that they fight so hard to make happen. They fight so hard for that child to be here, for their mother to be the vessel she was born to be. They fight so fucking hard for that, to let those babies be murdered in a place that you require them to be. It is like this country requires us to show up in these indoctrinated spaces that don't even teach real history. It's all whitewashed. They require us to show up there, but they won't do anything to keep us safe there. I am so happy today that I am childless. I am so happy today that I don't have school-age children.
Yeah.
I cannot imagine
what
you were going through.
I'm sad. And it's hard for our friends that do. We have all of our friends have children.
We know so many children
we're
of an age where like everybody, yes. And I cannot imagine the sorrow and rage and anxiety that you feel
These are
having to
not-
send your children to these spaces that aren't kept safe, and they don't want to do anything about it. I made a comment that they put more regulation on women's bodies than they do on guns. They force these women to have babies that they just let, I don't understand. I don't understand. It's about control. Of course I understand, but like, we're sacrificing our babies. We're you guys, graphic, I'm sorry. Some of these children have not yet been identified, and their parents are having to submit DNA to identify them. This is what happened. Why does this also adult child, right? We're saying, oh, you're old enough to go to war. You're not old enough to drink. Make up your fucking mind. 18 years old is a child. This also child legally had a weapon made for war. I don't know what to say. Is it mental health? We are not outliers on the scale of mental health. The U.S. is not. Women have mental health issues also. It's not happening there. Maybe we should study men. Maybe we should study men. This particular young man, young 18-year-old young person, I don't even know how to refer to him. A monster, regardless of his age. Monster. But was Latino. Okay. Doesn't fit into what we normally see. But this is a predominantly white male issue. And it doesn't stop at adolescence. And I would like to know what's going on chromosomally, chemically for
Socially.
White men or those who have white male genes. Maybe we should study that if we're going to call it a mental health issue, because they're the only ones that don't. Literally, how many women in history? One girl has shot up a school ever in history. I could be wrong about that. Bring me articles if I'm wrong about that. But who killed a significant amount? She walked over to her school and shot up a bunch of people. This is. So what is it? What is it? What is it? I don't understand. Somebody make it make sense.
I think the articles that have made it make sense point directly to, white cis men with, XYZ, like prescription medication, whatever. I don't, there are comparisons and discussion about, but not enough.
It's all correlation. It's all correlation, right?
This isn't isolated incidents, y'all. This is, when you, unfortunately, every post I'm seeing is the list of the schools. And it gets longer and longer because it's an incomplete list. And, we were talking about, when we were younger in school, it was tornado drills in Oklahoma and, hurricane drills and
also our parents and so on. So did we a little bit too, especially I was a military kid. We took the same position for a hurricane drill as we did for a bomb drill.
Right. And, yes.
Nah, that's no excuse either, though.
No one's getting mental health help.
I mean, we could say that. I mean, just to be, I'm just going to spread your business, MJ, but MJ is not in therapy right now.
For it, Audrey.
MJ is not in therapy right now. Like, not everybody can afford therapy. That's no excuse. She's not out taking her problems out on other people. Like taking her, like, what is that? What is that? I feel like there's something there. There's something. Is there like a chromosomal difference? Is there something that we're like genetically? What is happening there? I also feel
I think
like
there's social. I mean, I think influence too in terms of
social
video
influence.
games, social influence.
I don't even want to hear about video games. I can't hear about it. I can't hear about video games because, again, there are plenty of girls who fucking play video games. There are millions of people who play video games that don't go and shoot up. They don't do that. It's just bullshit to me.
It is.
I
And,
feel like
again,
there's
then it circles back around to accessibility. Why do, accessibility to guns for war? And when we
yes.
say that, we're talking.
And they're like, we got to protect ourselves from the government. Bitch, they got tanks and drones. Like, literally, I can't with that. I can't. And why did you forget every fucking amendment after the Second Amendment? You forgot all the rest of, like, don't we have a right to live and go into spaces and just live our lives without having to, like, can't we go to the movies or to a concert or to fucking school? They are required to be there. They are required to be there. And now I'm reading posts that say, instead of protecting our children are taught to be a distraction if they're near the door, to throw things and be a distraction so other students can get away. So instead of protecting our students, we will just sacrifice them. But let's just be honest. We knew they didn't give a shit about the kids anyway, when they let them go hungry, when they can't pay their school bill, right? Or they don't give a shit when they know they go home to abuse. They don't give a shit, right? They don't fucking care about the children. They care about creating a workforce, continuing to create a workforce. If you survive, and get to work 40 plus hours a week so that you can try to survive. Now it's 80 hours a week because nobody gets paid a livable wage. So, like, that's it. Like, and then today, Beto O'Rourke interrupted a press conference with Governor Abbott, and they started calling him all kinds of names. How dare you, you son of a bitch? How dare you politicize this? This is a time for mourning. And people were like, let Beto talk. Let him talk. Let him say it. Let him say it, because we feel that way. Instead, they're just placating. They're just putting out their little speeches, thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers to you, Governor Abbott, because I really hope they fucking kick your ass all the way to the curb. I really do. When it's time for you to be up for election. Is he up for election? Anyways, to segue into, is he up for election? Let's, sorry for the heated conversation before we're bringing you on, because we absolutely want to focus on what you're doing. But let's bring in our guest, who is in a campaign right now. So let me add you to the stream. Hello, Stanford. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Yes, thanks for having me again, right?
Yeah. Apologies for the heated discussions prior to bringing you on. Do you know off the top of your head, because I'm not so politically inclined, do you know if Governor Abbott is up for re-election in the near future?
I believe he is. I believe Beto is going to be running against him.
Okay, great. So that is good news. So yes, good. That's good news to hear. So today, Beto O'Rourke went into that where they were having like a press conference for their thoughts and prayers gatherings. There were citizens there that wanted to hear what Beto O'Rourke had to say. But instead, we had a full panel. He was escorted out by the sheriff's department. There's a full panel of people calling him a son of a bitch and how dare you, you're such a sick bastard. Like literally they were cussing him out. And all he was saying is, hey, we need to protect our children. Can we talk about that? This happens every time. And like, I'm not expecting you to come on here with an answer, but like, I literally the only thing I know to do about it is to vote for different people who are going to do the right things towards their citizenship for their constituents.
Yeah, I mean, I think it is a time, like as running for office like myself, right? You can get cynical. Sometimes you can get down and depressed. But I think when you do that, that's when you kind of quit democracy. So we can't, right? We have to believe that like people organized can still do like great things. And I think we had, humans somehow built the pyramids, right? So I think if we can do that, we can solve this issue as well. That's probably how depressing and angry we are in the moment.
Right, right. I totally agree with you. It is really hard not to get down and out about it, especially when you see. Anyway, you guys definitely keep these families in your thoughts. Send them all of your positive energy. They're going to need it for their upcoming battle and journey. Yeah, it's a really sad day, but I do want to move on and talk about our guests because you were so kind to come on with us. So I definitely want to highlight you. You said you're running for office. We're very excited about that. So tell us about that. Tell us what office, what you're running for, and what that looks like, and yeah, etc. How we're going to affect change, all that stuff.
So I'm Stanford Fraser, and I'm running for County Council at Large in Prince George's County, Maryland.
Can I pause you for a second and say, what is the difference? What'd you say? What is the difference between at large and
district representative?
And district representative.
Yeah. So in a lot of places, maybe they'll take a community and they're like, all right, there are 5 districts that represent like certain neighborhoods in the community. And then at large would be you represent the whole community. Right?
Everything. Okay.
So there are 9 districts and then 2 people that are at large. They represent the whole county.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. I like it already.
Yes.
All right. And so we're basically, you call us like a suburb right outside of Washington, D.C. A lot of people that commute have federal government jobs. There's also a military base here. So some people work at the military base. And yeah, that's what I'm doing. The primary is July 19th. So I'm just, talking to voters, I guess, going on podcast and, just getting my message out there.
And so you do have a primary before you can get on the ballot officially. So what are your takeaways if I vote for you? I'm not sure who your opponent is because I don't live in Maryland, but I'm sure you can fill us in.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm ready to bring some more accountability, right, and transparency. I think one of the big ideas is we've seen in other places. I think the best example is probably the Denver STAR program, in which they're enhancing public safety by introducing like public health first responders. So my day job, I'm a public defender, if people remember that from last time.
Yes.
And I, for example, always give the example of like a call for service could be someone like, hey, this is guy outside, like shirtless being weird. But when you show up, it's just a really enthusiastic jogger, right? Okay, go about your day. Or maybe it's someone actually having a mental health emergency or like overdosing.
Right.
We can send an EMT and like a social worker there and then save our police officers for actual
crimes.
Exactly.
Yes. I love that. And so right now that's not necessarily a thing that's happening, but that's something that you would like to implement for.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So basically we have we're a county of like 920,000 people. So we have one mobile crisis van that kind of does that, but like, it'll be like once the police get on the scene, they can call the van to come out.
So they send the police first. That's ineffective, as we've seen in past situations when they show up first. Exactly. The thing is that you guys, I don't think just on this subject, I don't think we always say there's no bad cops. And I'm like, okay, well then like report your peers and show that you're not a bad cop. But when I say that, I don't think that all cops are like-minded. I don't think all cops work in white supremacy in their brains, right? There are some of your colleagues do some, right? And you should call them out. But also there are no bad cops, but even the good cops are taught to respond to emergency situations as if there is a potential for danger, that they always have to have their head on a swivel because there could always be a dangerous situation. So that's what they're trained for. So when they go into a situation and it even hints of a bad situation, they are trained to react a certain way. And that doesn't mean that, that happens to, I say a majority of cops, right? Of police officers, excuse me for my slang.
Or is it also that they're not taught, like when they're going through academy, they're taught certain situations, but they're not taught necessarily mental health situations, people
Not at
that,
all.
to de-escalate a situation.
I will say that we are,
Um,
I mean, I went through military police training. The person who did the training was retired police out in San Antonio, Texas. It was hot as balls there in the summer. Don't do it. So we were taught all the police tactics and everything. And because I'm who I am, I focused real hard on that de-escalation bit because I don't want to fight you. I will, but I don't want to fight you. But so I focused really hard on that and like concentrated on how I could accomplish that in my interactions with other people. Right. But generally speaking, we're taught that, when you go into a situation, say a domestic violence situation, right, we should be prepared for the victim to attack us. The victim to attack us because we're arresting the suspect, right? So in that situation, it would be helpful to send, if because it's a violent situation, right? Domestic violence is a violent situation. There is a criminal act going on there. It would be helpful to also have a social worker along with. So now that we have you in custody, we can focus on her and make sure that she's not acting out, whatever the case may be, right? So yeah, I mean, there's lots of different things, but I'm glad that you're, that this is so in this position, you will basically be able to affect laws for your community.
Exactly. I bet it's like the Congress, but for the county, right? So there's a lot less of us.
Okay, and you're close to the community, so you can, so like there's people that you see every day, and they're your neighbors, and so yeah, you're going to be even better than representing from DC to your constituents.
That's true.
You're the guy that they should be listening to, right?
I hope so.
So your representation that are sitting in the Senate and in the House should actually be reaching out to you, right, and saying, hey, what does your community want? How does your community feel about this particular situation or whatever, right?
Definitely. And like local politics, like you're closer to the ground, right? So it's easier for the people to touch you, so you can hear more from the people.
So in a perfect world, what would happen is the people would be able to be in contact with Stanford, right? And be like, I don't like this, or I love this, keep doing this. And then he would then have a conversation with the representatives of the entire state. And he would say, this is what my constituents want. And so then in an ideal democratic situation, the representation over the entire state listen to what the different districts and counties want, and then they majority rules. Basically, they go, okay. In a majority of situations, I mean, we can see how political climates have changed about really heavy topics.
No, definitely. I mean, yeah, it's interesting because there's like certain things that the county can change on their own, right? There's certain county laws, but then there's certain laws that are like state laws and then like federal laws. So, you know, it all works together.
Yeah. So we hope in a real perfect world that, you're going to be able to affect change directly for your constituents. But I hope like on a large level that also during election season, the right candidates for state level also are put into office so that they communicate well with those of you who are working directly with the community. That's what we need. We did and so we kind of talk about this all the time, you guys, but make sure you vote in all of the elections.
Yeah, I know you were talking earlier about a drag show, and my wife and I joke all the time that RuPaul's Drag Race, they end every episode with the vote, vote.com with the blues, vote. I'm like, Drew, please. I get it, I'll vote.
Yeah, find out when there are things to vote for, like...
Do you have mail-in ballots in Maryland?
We do. So I think So the primary is July 19th, but I think the mail-in ballots are going to go out first week of June. So
okay. So yeah, so if you're a registered voter, you should be able to get a ballot by mail. And see, you don't even have to leave the comfort of your couch. You just have to, do a little research. I say this all the time. I'm guilty too, you guys, and I've been really working on it. I said the other day on the show that, I sit down every morning and smoke my first blunt of the day. I sit down, but I sit there and I'm like scrolling. And then the other day I was like, do something productive with this moment. And so I picked up like a magazine and I learned some stuff, and there's some people we want to contact now, And so, where was I going with this? That when you get your ballot and you see these two names on the ballot, what I want you to do next is use that time that you're already using to scroll the internet to go learn more about those two candidates so that you can make an informed decision, so that we don't get people in office who are sitting in jail for accused of murdering their spouse like that. Listen, I'm gonna need you to put your political life on hold for just a minute. Handle that. If you're not guilty, come back and we'll talk to you about it. Right. But like, you're in jail right now. How are you going to cater to your constituents?
No, definitely. I say, if you get a mail-in ballot, it's kind of like a take-home test. You use open book.
Yeah.
You can do some Googles, right?
Yeah.
Get to learn a little bit more.
And there are different reputable sources. You don't have to, think that just because you're Googling anything that, you're just going to get one opinion. I think the last time
there is potential for that. So
so keep your eye out for that. Don't just choose the first one, do some comparisons. But Stanford, I'm looking at your website and there's a couple issues listed here that, in regard to self-serving redistricting and zoning amendments. Can you, do you want to talk more on those two issues in particular, or is that something I'm just cheating on the website? So I want to.
So it's the smile. Like he was like, yes, we're going to talk about it.
Get into that. No, I mean, it's interesting because it's really niche to like my community, but I think it's like has like broader impacts for politics in general, right? So they call it text-based zoning amendments, where they can just like change the zoning code, but they do it without like public input, without like public notice. So an example of this was there was this neighborhood that was supposed to be like a town center, like they were going to build these townhomes, single-family homes, and then they said we want to bring like a grocery store anchor, maybe like some coffee shops, things of that nature. And they've been struggling to get like the grocery store of those components. So what actually happened was the county like tried to change the zoning code. Actually, Amazon came and bought property there. Was like trying to buy property there for a distribution center. And then they're going to change the zoning code. Instead of being like mixed development, housing, and like that commercial stuff, it can be like mixed development, housing, and then industrial, because like distribution centers are considered industrial now.
Yes,
because like,
they are.
It's different than a coffee shop or a grocery store, right? It's a different use.
Far, far different.
But like the residents got really mad. They fought it back, right? But like that was an example of like, they didn't really, it wasn't a hearing like, hey, this is the, people that built the homes, we're your government. They're struggling, but like Amazon has an opportunity. Would you guys be like into that instead of a grocery store? It's more like, all right, we're going to try to change this code.
I'd be like, is Amazon putting groceries in there?
Yeah, that's what the residents say. It's like, well, doesn't Amazon own Whole Foods? Why can't we get one of those?
Yeah.
But like that wasn't part of the conversation because there really wasn't any public hearings or input beforehand, right?
So you can change. So you can help. Like you can create a situation or like put, I guess, policy in that requires community input before those zoning laws change.
You want to, you're against these.
Yes, I'm against those practices.
And so there's a way to end these practices, like in actually putting in, measures to, prevent this from happening without even so that no longer they can be a secret. I was just reading my local paper, and they're going through a whole zoning conversation in regard to housing, and then there's lawsuits. It's insane, and I'm like, oh, I probably should be paying attention to this because housing here is a big, conversation for people that work and live here year round versus second and third homeowners, and not giving, and then and
then they Airbnb their properties out, and then there's no place for the locals to live, and it hikes up the cost of living in the area and the cost of housing in the area. Atlanta,
that's local politics.
Yeah, exactly. So that's stuff that your local politicians would be like, that's who you want to go to about that. We were talking, I think it was the last time you were on the show where I was mentioning that, I think, was it Atlanta that just put uh, a limitation on like, so if you can own as many homes as you want, but only 2 of those can be used as an Airbnb, and you have to live in one of them. So in other words, you would have to, like, it would either have to be your personal second space to live or third space to live, whatever, rich people, or you would have to rent it out so that the people who live in the community have a place to live.
I mean, and a community involvement saying like, we got to get a handle on this, especially like tourist areas that like I'm in, or even just any destination. I feel like where that's what the whole point of having these second, third, fourth, properties for some people are. And
I said rich people like they don't make a hell of profit,
people, but also like, putting something in place to say we've got to protect our locals, our community,
right.
Keeping it within our I don't know.
Yeah. So yeah, you got to look out for it. So I think this rules like that are great, and I'm glad to hear that I mean, what we're just talking about the zoning, that you're of course you're looking out for. We would have people on. If we had somebody on that was not looking out for their constituents, I would be spitfiring questions a million. I do have a question though. Is today your birthday?
Today is my birthday. Yes.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday! How young are you?
I'm 31.
31 years young. That's beautiful. And you have put on your Facebook page,
Twitter.
Yeah.
It's on
Facebook. It's on some social media platforms.
It's on social media platforms. So follow Stanford Fraser on social media to keep up with his politics and also with these types of things. So what have you posted for your birthday fundraiser
challenge?
So for my birthday fundraiser challenge, I basically said in the next week, right, if we can raise $5,000 from individuals, I'm going to dye my hair blue, right? So I'm pretty excited about it. I don't know if you guys keep up with Dragon Ball, Super, right? They got this blue Super Saiyan now. So
I'm excited.
That might be me in a week.
I'm excited to see your hair blue. I believe that you can do it. I think you set your bar low. So I think you could raise way more than that in a week. This is the thing. I want to talk about it because I definitely want to get everybody excited to check out your page and see if he turns his hair blue next week. But also, can we talk about, do you take large donor funds? Or do you collect a majority of your money from small donors?
A majority of my money does come from small donors. I guess I accept, the maximum 6,000 if you want to give that.
Yeah.
Hey, if you're blessed, go for it. I haven't gotten any money from like developers or anything of that nature.
Right.
But I have an Ask Blue page and, you're welcome to, I guess, turn my hair blue.
Absolutely. The reason I'm asking that question is because I want to talk a little bit about the importance of, or like the difference between candidates like yourself who raise donations from their constituents and from people who are supporting the message that you have versus those who take big money, large, like corporation type donors. Who are you going to serve is what I'm asking.
Yeah, I think the German proverb is he who pays the piper picks the tune, right?
Yes.
And but so that the people, pick the tune, that I'm going to be listening to the people, right? I think that plays a role. And I also think it means when I'm campaigning, I'm talking to people instead of talking to, I guess, the more wealthier individuals or the more wealthier corporations or entities.
Right. They're not the same, for me, I guess I don't see, like, if you're having those conversations, but the biggest problem is that when the candidates take the money, then there's almost, I'm not speaking for how you feel, Okay. But there's almost a feeling of obligation that you owe them something back. Right. And an expectation, I think, from a lot of corporations that I gave you this money. Now I expect something in return. Right. And when you're not taking that money, then there's no expectation to give them something in return. They're not, I mean, they're already going to support your competition, but also then that, like, what does that say that they stand for? Right.
No, I definitely agree. And, campaigns are expensive. I'm learning that myself, right? Between yard signs.
Tell us about that. I've never campaigned or anything. Tell us why campaigns are expensive. Why do we need to raise donations? Or in the instance of people taking corporate donor money, why would we need to do that?
Yeah, I think like you think, oh, I mean, for example, I go to the 1,000 yard signs. How much do you think that would cost?
We buy signs and stuff.
That's true. So
Yeah. So that can get quite pricey.
That's $4,000+ For example, I'm doing a postcard mailer.
Plus the design, plus the posting.
Well, I'm a man of many talents, so I said, okay, we're gonna crack some knuckles. I got Canva.
I love it. Us too.
I'm gonna sit down, have some tea, watch Survivor, and we're gonna design myself to save a bit of cash.
Right. Yep. Exactly.
Right, but that's time for my day, right? I think something you guys, especially around this political season, you might get stuff in the mail. We've been, talking to different vendors. I think for we're looking at 20,000 people. I had one vendor say maybe it costs $7,000, $8,000, $9,000 to send, postcards to that many people. So that stuff really adds up. Exactly.
And who does it hit? I'm like, oh, I mean, I'll probably pay attention more now, but after the fifth one, I'm like, how much you paying here? What's going on?
Yeah. How many people does it not get to, right? But also, if you don't send them out, then they don't know who you are. They've never seen your face. They may not watch commercials. Do you do any television commercials, or do you just keep it straight on Twitter and social media? Mail.
So I don't want to get too much into my strategy. No, I kid. So I like social media ads, right? The great thing about Facebook is you get Instagram as well, even though Instagram's a mess these days.
Yes, it is a whole mess.
And then we've looked at YouTube ads, and then possibly the radio, but not television. Television is super.
It's out.
Yeah.
It's out. I said that like an old person. Well, I mean, I feel like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez got elected based on, being pound in the street. She was just like holes in her shoes, right? Those types of mailers. But then a lot of social media stuff, people just knew, getting in touch. MJ was commenting on oh, he posts a lot on Twitter. And I was like, he has to. But I also don't understand Twitter. I feel like it's texting out loud and about just mundane weird shit for a majority of the people, mundane weird shit, and then hoping that somebody likes it.
No, definitely. My campaign team is like Stanford. Less takes about the NBA and Real Housewives. You got to stick to the campaign. I'm like, oh, my bad.
Right. But then people want to be engaged. That's what engages them. I found out it was your birthday, and I've realized some other things, and and simply by Googling your name, and so you get into being that name that someone's talking about. You talk to somebody, and you strike a chord with them, and so then they're going to talk to somebody else about you, and and then they're going to the people that are social media driven, and so. And that's what we're working.
Well, that's how we find out about a lot of people too. Yeah. Now you were sent to us by who sent you? It was
Lawan.
Lawan. Yeah, it was Lawan Stribling, right? She was like, check him out, and we were like, absolutely. When we just looked at your stuff, we were like, absolutely. But a lot of the things that we learn from other states politically is social media. Who was it? You're going to know better than me. Who was it that did the ad smoking the blunt?
Oh, Gary Chambers.
Gary Chambers. I would die to talk to him.
Yeah.
I would die to talk to him. As a matter of fact, we've been shooting our shot all day. I'm still on the list. I'm putting him on the list. I would die to talk to him. That was such a solid fucking move. That was such a solid stance. He was like, this is bullshit. People should not be in jail for this. I was just like, mind blown, sir. Thank you very much. On the subject of cannabis, how do your constituents in your area feel about cannabis? Is it something that you think you guys are going to have an adult use market? What do you think? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, that's a good question. So, last time I talked that it's going to be on the ballot in November, right, for the general election. I did some research. I think there's polling from March of this year. So I guess that's 2 months ago that I think it was either 62 or 64% of Marylanders are like pro. So, we're knocking on all the wood. We're crossing all the fingers, but that's hopeful that then it will pass, right? Mm-hmm. And then I think one issue is because it's going to be voter passed, and then like next year the legislature is going to have to actually get all the rules down. Yeah. I think the basic rules are going to be up to 1.5 ounces, like completely legal. Between 1.5 and 2.5 ounces, it's going to be like a fine up to $250, and then above 2.5 ounces, that's when that's going to be classified as your intent, possession with intent to distribute. Basically, saying that's so much that you're not using that for personal use, you're using that to sell. But those are the basic rules. That's really the only rule.
That guy could afford a license.
On that note, real quick.
Happy 420 West Coast.
Just happened to time that conversation right on the minute.
This is progress. I will say that this is progress. But also, the fines are going to be on poor people for a majority of that.
Yeah, definitely.
And possession with intent to distribute. I just can't afford a license, bro.
Yeah, I know some people in the medical industry, right? We have one dispensary out here that does a lot of community events, right? Called Mary and Maine. They're known like Capitol Heights, Maryland. But yeah, talk to the owner of that, and there's so many taxes, and then basically because they look at all right, we're going to legalize it, we're going to use it to fund social services, which is good. But that means there's so many taxes, and it's really hard to enter the industry because you need more. I think any small business, you need what they call upfront costs. I think what private call cuts that no scared money don't make money, but you need a lot of money.
Thank you for saying that. I need you to say that. Say it again. Say it one more time.
Scared money don't make money, right?
That's right. I look forward to you getting winning this primary. I look forward to you also getting elected, because I think that you will be very good for your community. You probably already are doing great things. We could get into that if you want to. But also I look forward to, and if you ever want to chat about this, I will be happy to. I'm not in Maryland, but I could be in Maryland. I look forward to you also winning other elections in your very relative near future, because I would like to see you also have a say in the state's cannabis regulation.
No, definitely. Yeah.
Because it can be better for the people. The reason that guy has more on his person, her person, than this person does is because they grew that and they're selling it. Yes, you're right, because I can't afford a license to do it your way because taxes and all that, right? And so those are things that we always look to bring awareness to, because we want to see cannabis back to being of the community. Yeah, it's a business. I want you to win and make money too, but also not at the expense of, price gouging your community.
No,
right?
No, definitely. I mean, there's a difference between we don't have bodegas, but your local corner store and Walmart.
But you should.
Maybe.
They just opened one in Denver, I think. It's called the Bodega, but it's all fancy and stuff. It's all fancy, but it's built on that concept. I'm wanting to get out there and check it out. But I think there should be bodegas in every city across America.
I lived in like New York City for one summer, and I remember I went to the bodega like, "Oh, do you guys have oat milk?"
They were like, "Excuse me, sir, we have cows here."
that was a funny moment.
Yeah. So, what else did I want to ask you about? There was something that was in my head moments ago, and I wanted to. Where did it go? Oh, it was on the cannabis. I know what it was. It was on the cannabis. I guess I made an assumption with that last statement that you can't, that you won't be informing change on this particular subject, but for your, direct community, do your districts make decisions on how to handle the legislation as it comes down, like by the district?
I don't think so. I think the things that the county is going to have to decide is part of the zoning code is like we zone where certain business can go, right?
Yeah, can you go there? Yeah, right. Or is it going to be a moratorium on it or things like that? But you can't change like the big things of it, right?
Yeah.
So
we're not going to have the impact on the bigger things, but like where it's going to be, and and then we're going to have to change policing routes because those businesses have to be cash intensive because of federal rules,
right?
And it means they have to have security because they're maybe
all the time.
Target, right?
Let me tell you this. You already know because there's medical facilities being targeted. But once those adult use facilities open up, people get weird right in the beginning too. It's just like crazy. You'll see all kinds of crime surrounding. And then once they realize, which they should with the medical market being what it is, but not everybody's allowed in there, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody's allowed. If you're 21 and up, everybody's allowed in adult use. So then you start figuring out that there's cameras everywhere. We watching you. There's always a thumb right here on top of you as long as you're in this facility, right? But until they get it, it'll be a little free for all. It gets weird.
Yeah, everyone. Yeah, it's like a fever.
It's like I gotta have it. Like you can't get to it. It's locked up, man. It's behind a big safe. You can't like break in if you want when we gone, but ain't gonna be nothing here for you. So yeah. Well, when is your primary again?
July 19th.
July 19th. I'm going to download this episode for you and make sure that you get it in your inbox so you can use whatever parts of it that you need to. I don't know how to clip things down, but I'm sure you got people that can do that. But you're free to use any of this if you feel like it's useful. If you don't, we will not be offended. We are just happy that you came onto our little podcast to talk to us today. We really appreciate you.
Thankful to be here. This is a great, like every, I think, millennial male, I'm always like, I should start a podcast. So I always love being a guest on one, right? It scratches the itch without all the hard work.
Yeah. You know what?
Well, that's a great way to handle that itch.
Yeah, it is, because this is exhausting. Don't do it.
I did it once. I downloaded Audacity. I recorded 2 podcast episodes. I was on the editing on the Audacity. I was like, wait a minute.
We don't edit.
Oh my
We're
goodness.
unprofessional. We don't edit nothing. We're very unprofessional. We generally have not on something. We generally have some kind of technical difficulty, which we haven't really had so much today. And
I think I've navigated it with my bowl.
Yeah,
that was our.
I think we figured that out for right now. But it's always something like we went on a radio show in April, and they had technical difficulties while we were there, and we were like,
we never have these. I'm like,
that's our fault. We'll take the blame for that. Yeah. So yeah, but if you want to come back and announce something or show us your blue hair, or whatever, just let us know, and we'll pull you in for a few minutes just to chit chat and talk about what's next or what do you need for the next campaign. And then again, we'll always send you a clip of the show or a copy of the show, and you're free to use that however you see fit.
Yeah, I might come back for blue hair. I might come back in November after Maryland passes, right?
Yes,
absolutely. The referendum. And
you come back after you win.
There you go.
And tell us that you won. It's always a pleasure to have you on. You're amazing. Yeah. Also, we found out the reason why the poster was red today, right?
Why?
Because it's Harvard red or whatever the red
Oh,
color is.
crimson. Yes, yes. Yeah.
Crimson, yes.
The crimson.
I was
I was like, we did that for you.
Thank you.
So
Warms the
yeah.
heart.
Harvard educated, Stanford Fraser. He is the district attorney in Maryland. I always forget the name of the seat that you're running for. Please tell me again.
County Council in Prince George's County.
Okay, county council. And he definitely cares about what his constituents think. So if you are in his district and you want to do you have to be in the district to donate or in the state to donate? We can donate.
Yeah, you guys can donate if you want the hair to be blue.
Y'all want to donate? We want the hair to be blue. So let's get on that donation train. We'll throw a little bit towards that. I'll go check it out. And because we want to see that hair blue. And if you guys are listening right now, go check out Stanford's social media pages where you can find that challenge. He is trying to raise money through constituent donations as opposed to big donor money. And it's expensive to run a campaign. So help him out any way you can. He's doing what's right for the people. And those are the ones that we want in office and on all levels. And don't forget, everybody who's listening, make sure you vote in all of the elections that you have an opportunity to vote in, because first of all, your low level, like county, city, state elections, those individuals, the county and city individuals, those people that are directly in your community, they hear you because they are a part of that community. When we get into the higher offices, they tend to spend a lot of time in DC. So, those offices, yes, are important. We can see Mitch McConnell needs to go. Okay. We can see that these things are important, but some of the most important, elections you can vote in are your local elections that will directly influence what happens in your area, in your bubble, if you will. And also the president is a mouthpiece for the most part. There's not a whole lot he can do without getting permission from others. So just remember that. I mean, he's important. Don't get me wrong. He's important. Okay. But I almost would say that your local elections would be more important to the value of your life directly to you.
Correct. Right.
And there's no filibuster for your local, legislature. So
there's that. And then one last thing on voting, because I think it's just so important. I hear so many people say, I don't vote, blah, blah, blah. And then I'll be honest with you. I'm judging you. Okay. A little bit, I'm judging you, especially if you are not a white cis man. If you are not a white cis man, somebody fought for your right to vote, to go and have your voice heard. And, I know a lot of people say, well, my vote doesn't count. It absolutely does count. One snowflake by itself, you're maybe, it'll melt in the sun, but a blizzard will not. And so all of our votes count for something. Yes. And as heartbreaking as it is to me that sometimes democracy does not work, a lot of times lately, our representation that were voted into office don't listen to what the constituents want. As heartbreaking as that is, as much as some people think, oh, well, they'll just do what they want. Okay, say somebody does legitimately steal the election. That has not happened. Okay, that is not, well, I will say it may have happened, but it has not happened in the Joe Biden era. I'll say that. I think that it happened way before. But at some point, and it kind of changed the course of our history a little bit. We can get into that some other day. But my point is, even if they do, legitimate record of these things. There is a legitimate record of these things, assuming that they're not, that can go back. But this is what this whatever, it's like a record. I think that's important. I think, well, you guys know we think it's important to share history to make sure that all of that stuff, because we don't want to repeat it. That's the problem with some of these schools not teaching accurate history. It's being whitewashed. But there's the accurate record. Listen, I went to college. We went to college, right? We went to college. When I got to college, the shit I learned about history in high school bored the fuck out of me in high school. I was so fucking bored in high school with history. I got to college and I had this history professor. I've talked about him before. His name is David Neff. I had this history professor that sparked my interest so hard in actual history. And this man was like, this is what really happened. This, and then he would like encourage like social justice, and he would encourage like civic duty, and he would encourage us to read things that were outside of our book. Like he was just like an amazing person. So I know not everybody can go to college, but there are books out there. There are scholars out there who have written things with accuracy. There's accurate history out there. It's not available in your local public schools, and some of your private schools are also keeping it out, but it is available in your higher education spaces and in libraries. So visit your local library. Don't let them die.
Did you know in Colorado, if you have a library card, you can check out a national park pass and go to national parks, because, you know, there's a fee to go into.
What?
Yes.
Nice.
That was an article that I couldn't share. You're like, not available. I was like, dang it. Yes.
What?
So check it out in your in your state, if that's an option. But I know in Colorado, it's been said that, yes, if you have a Colorado library card, then you can go check out a national park pass.
Nice. I was going to say, here in Maryland, you can do like audiobooks, but national parks are even better.
That's amazing too, though. I love that you can check out an audiobook, because again, our indoctrination of education that is meant to, in my opinion, I have opinions, we know, in my opinion, just to churn out a workforce, right? Some of us make it out alive. You're not gonna get what you need from those institutions. And sometimes that includes reading and writing skills. And so audiobooks are a great way to, advance your education, even if your reading and writing skills aren't that great. No judgment. It's America. So any last statements before we let you go? We're going to hang out for just a minute after we let Stanford go. But anything that you want us to check out or be mindful of? We want you to have blue hair. So everybody go check out that challenge on his social media.
Yeah, check out social media, Stanford for MD. And you'll find, I think my Act Blue is going to be in the show notes, or at least some of my social media links are going to be in the show notes.
Yeah.
And so nothing more. I got to get ready to, the season finale, Survivor, comes on 8 p.m. Eastern. Right, I gotta, I'm ready. I'm excited for this.
I still watching Survivor.
I'm a newer fan, so I started literally. So like, pandemic, things are closing. You're working from home more, and I had a friend of a friend who had an Excel sheet ranking all the seasons with like details. This season is this season. This season does this. Oh, this is one of the better seasons. So
wow.
I just went through like their like ranked seasons. Like after like the first two, I was like, I'm hooked.
Nice. I used to watch Survivor when it first came out. I used to watch it. I don't know, when did it first come out? Do you know?
I think maybe like 2002 or 2000. I think it's been 20 years.
Jesus Lord.
Because we're on season 42. No, I was watching. I even looked. There's one season, I think it came out in 2006. This is problematic light, borrowing from Jesus and Miro. They had a race war season where there were 4 tribes: an Asian tribe, Latino tribe, Black tribe, and like white tribe.
I know that those sound like,
wow.
I know that.
The mid-aughts.
Here's the thing that I always say when stuff like that happens. I said it about this whole Walmart debacle. We'll get into it in a minute, ladies and gentlemen. But I said about the whole Walmart debacle, like in the room of people who were making this decision, all of those people were white people. Like there was all white people in that room to make this decision right here. And that's what I think about that episode. I know that like in psychology, we want to know those, like we want to look at like things like that. But as a social experiment with real people, that is ethically a big no. That's a big fucking no. And we learned that in the the prison project, the Stanford prison experiment. Yeah. We learned how big of a no such social experiments like that are. But nobody was paying attention, so we just repeat it in different forms. There was another show that did this too, but I'm not going to keep you from Survivor. I'm gonna let you go, and everybody in the comments, hang out. We're going to hang out for a few more minutes. Thank you for coming on. We are rooting for you, and I definitely want to see your hair blue. So I will go check that link out, and we'll share all of those links on our social pages as well.
Appreciate it.
We can't wait to see that blue hair.
Thank you for having me, and maybe you can even pick out a shade of blue for me, right?
That would be beautiful. Here's the thing: is whatever. I think you're lowballing yourself. I think that you're going to make a lot more than you think in a week. Okay. So let us know how that goes. If you don't have to tell us what the amount was, but you say high or low, right? Yeah, we look forward to seeing. Maybe you could dye your hair on the air.
Wow. So
that's a process.
I'm getting older, but it's like, oh, if I dye my hair at my house, is it gonna like all fall out? So I have to like watch YouTube tutorials.
I personally would not do that by myself. As you can see,
no, you need to employ someone's help.
I would do that.
Okay. Good to know.
There are some great options for a vibrant color out there that might not even have bleach as a full necessity. Okay. So check that out. So yeah, we can't wait, and hire a professional.
All right, y'all have a good evening.
All right, enjoy Survivor.
Thank you so much.
Okay. He was great. He's so interesting. I didn't want to leave without doing our sponsors, and I just want to hang out with you guys for a few minutes longer, just because we love you guys. And I didn't want to leave you guys with a sour taste in your mouth either with the beginning of the show. So let's try to do a little feel good, blah, blah, blah. And let's start with our sponsors. So you guys know I love King Palms. So if you love King Palms like I love King Palms, you can pick some up for 15% off using code KPTCCP May 15. That code is going to be good like for a minute. So yeah, definitely check it out. 15% off. It's an amazing it's amazing discount. I love it.
It is. It is a nice discount. It's even.
I order the 180s. I don't do it. My husband orders the 180s for me, and then he uses my discount to get the 180s. So we buy them, get a discount, and then I get paid for getting the discount.
That's the way you work it.
That is how we have multiple streams of income.
And if you're asking, what is a King Palm? A King Palm, it is an alternative to a blunt. It is a palm wrap that is so conveniently circular and has a nice little filter. They have little flavored ones too. So they've got little flavor balls, which are nice towards the end of your blunt. Yep. You can pop the flavor, and the banana is really good.
The Irish cream is probably my favorite. And also, I recommend, unless you have just bad flour, like your flour's not amazing, I would recommend holding on to that flavor until like middle to end.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, towards the end when you're done. Yeah. Just a little fun, because I'm not a big, we're said flavor, like it on the light side, but it's fun.
Like it on the light side. It's true. I want it to be au natural.
And they've got little ones. They've got little mini ones.
Oh, the little rollies.
And then they got bigger ones.
There's like rollies, and then there's minis, which is what I smoke. There's slims, which I feel like You guys remember the ladies smoking the Virginia Slims? I can't with that. I'm not going to do it. So those are a little long for the start of my day. And so, yeah, but they got Kings too. They got different sizes. If you guys are not already following us on our different platforms, solo.to/Cannabis Closet 420, we are putting a call out for guests. So even if you think that you couldn't be a guest on the Cannabis Closet podcast, reach out to us anyway. Tell us something interesting about yourself, or, just give us a little chat. Maybe there's something that you would say in that chat that we would be like, you know what, we would love to have you on to talk about that. Like, for example, Kelly in the comments, we would like to potentially schedule her for a Wednesday show to just kind of sit back and bullshit, chit chat with a blunt and talk about tornadoes. And so
tornado chasing.
You know, what'd be really cool is if we could get like a meteorologist to come on with you to explain the science of tornadoes to us. And then you could explain, as a person who lives with tornadoes, what it's like. And if you see one, like if you've been, like what your involvement is, all that stuff. That would be a really cool show, I think. So things like that, you know, it does, like, we're expanding our topics of conversation, especially for our Wednesday shows. We literally just want you to come on and maybe banter with us about something that's going on in the news or in your community, or like with these recalls that are happening, you know, things like that are the things that we talk about. You already know what we talk about because you come here every Monday and Wednesday to see us. So share
and talk with us.
Talk with us. That's why we share our email address every week, because we want to hear from you.
We do. And we want to grow. We want to grow our numbers. We want to reach out to more people in the communities. I don't know. I feel like what we say is important. Who we talk to is, important, and, the influence and just spreading that energy. So I would hope that y'all would share us and talk about us just like, and love us like you do. So,
and we appreciate you.
Yeah.
We are also sponsored, of course, by Queen Kitty Seltzer. Queen Kitty Seltzer. Pop this kitty. Put it in your mouth. I'm not gonna ever stop saying that. I'm like, literally, that's it. Pop this kitty. Put it in your mouth.
Get you some bubble gum.
Get you some bubble gum. We got bubble gum. We got lemon kiss, and we have a plain variety. We are renaming that plain variety in the next round. It's going to be called Nearly Naked.
Oh, I got that label.
You do?
Well, yes, it's the proto.
These are the prototypes of the new labels that are coming soon to a Queen Kitty near you. If you're making a little mixed drink with it, we call those kitty tails. #kitty tail. If you, we are still, yes, I'm working on distribution, retail distribution. But as soon as we get retail distribution, you will be able to get your own. We would love to see your different concoctions and things of that nature with your Queen Kitty. So as soon as we get that online, we'll put some calls out for that too.
Do you want to highlight the people that are currently selling Queen Kitty near you?
Yeah. So if you are hearing my voice and you live in the Durango area, who is carrying this drink? Let's start at the end. Taco Libre is carrying this drink. So Taco Libre has all 3 flavors, I believe. We have Lively Dacon, which has, I want to say, all 3 flavors as well. Cloud9 Head Shop is carrying them as well. The Roost, Himalayan Kitchen, back down there at the end. Starlight Lounge. Also, Aesthetics and Wellness is carrying them for any of you lovely ladies and gentlemen that go see Sarah and her crew over there. Awesome. Are carrying them. Down in Telluride, the Eurocart in Telluride is carrying Queen Kitty seltzers. So check them out and get you a Euro and a Queen Kitty and put it in your mouth.
Yep. And the Smoke and Bra in Frisco is also carrying Queen Kitty. And hopefully some of my local vendors are gonna, town's about to wake up. And so I gotta hit the pavement. And
we're coming to Denver soon.
Coming to a Denver location near you too.
Absolutely.
And we'll be online. We'll be online soon. We're getting things worked out, y'all. We're ready. We're ready to grow. We've
I got a business mentor. That's what I did. I had to. I was so kerfuffled. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do with myself. So okay, hey, before we leave, do you guys want to do a quick game of Would You Rather?
Oh, yeah.
Because I didn't want to leave this show. I mean, this show was great. Stanford was great.
We've always talked about that, or when we first talked about it, not always. When we first talked about it, we did talk about, we're going to talk about heavy things. We're going to have those harder conversations, and that was the whole point of the closet, is bringing to light, things that people don't want to talk about, people that want to shove it back or push it back or not discuss. And but so we also talked about the good things that come out of the closet, like our, beautiful flowers if we're home growing, and, and my fashion, hey, to see the light side of things. So I think we want to balance that always.
Oh, that one's too easy. Okay, hold on. I'm trying to find some good ones in here. I know, right?
What else?
Okay. I got 3. I pulled 3.
Okay.
All right. I might have to get I might have to find a second round of something like this. Find maybe something else, or we have to come up with our own, which is feasible, but okay. Mine would be like based on crime documentaries. So anyways, all right, we're gonna start. We'll just start where we start. Would you rather? This one's like a simple one. It's actually, would you rather get a shoulder massage or a foot massage?
Shoulders.
Don't touch my fucking feet.
Don't touch my feet. Kick you in your
Who
face.
likes their feet touched? Do y'all like your feet touched? Somebody today asked me for feet pics, and I was like, you don't really want pictures of my feet, but if you insist, put some money in my Cash App. I will send you a picture of my ugly feet. They're not that ugly. They're just not beautiful. But I don't even know.
I don't know what constitutes. I mean, well, yeah, I don't know. Just shoulders.
Shoulders.
I'm ticklish, and so that's more my thing, is like, if you touch my feet, I'll have a knee-jerk reaction, and I've hurt myself jerking my feet away from people that want to tickle me. I have kicked people in the face because they've tickled me, and so it's just not a great idea. I mean, even when I get pedicures, I'm like super sensitive. Like,
I'm saying, I was getting ready to say that. First, I was going to say, I've kicked somebody in the balls for tickling me. It's a complete accident.
Accidents happen.
But you were tickling me, and it's not my fault how my feet react. But first, I want to say that. But also, I go get pedicures because I have to, because I get also ingrowns. I know, I'm probably telling y'all too much, but if you like me, you just sitting back and listening right now. So I have to get them. Hey, you want to collaborate with me, and I will get the requests.
You send the pics.
I'll go on lives, right? And then people will be like, so you don't have to do like no videos or nothing. You just send me pictures of your feet, and then we'll get paid. We'll split it. Yeah, I told it, I was like, no, he was like, I don't get the first one for free. And I was like, I don't do shit for free, buddy. I don't do shit for free.
No.
Ain't nothing free in this world. If it's free, you better start asking questions. She says sure, because Kelly will she'll go up and down the mountain for us. I love Kelly. I can't wait to see you again. We have met in person. She's amazing. She's an amazing human being. Okay, this one's But I feel like I know the answer to this. Okay. Would you rather? This one's a gross one. Sorry, warning. Would you rather pull a tooth with a pair of pliers or brand yourself with a cattle prod? You got to remember your reactions to things too.
I think I would brand myself with a cattle prod.
I think that too, but then when you think about how your body reacts to pain and how you would probably like stiffen up the second your skin, so it would be hard to pull it off right away. And then how long does that burn last after the fact?
Well, then on the flip side of pulling your own tooth out with pliers, it's not like your tooth is loose. And so have you ever tried to pull a thing out of the wall that won't come out of the wall? And then have you tried again and again until you got it out? And then you got a root to deal with?
I mean, I would definitely do the cattle prod all day. I was just being a devil's advocate about it. I was just thinking when you hit yourself with the cattle prod,
it's going to be like when I burn myself with fire. I'm like, fuck that.
But a cattle prod is different because it's like a big, heavy piece of metal. I feel like with that much pain and pain receptors having to react all at once, I feel like your body would maybe stiffen up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Before you could pull off. And then you just have to consider like the afterburn. Because I feel like the afterburn, like even though if you got to do it yourself, pulling the tooth with pliers is going to be difficult. But I feel like, I mean, it would be painful either way. That still would take weeks. It would probably be weeks of pain.
It's
a big fear of mine too.
You guys get knocked out for your gums.
You guys, I was just getting ready to say that. And then I was absolutely the most miserable person for like over a week because it felt like I had burned the roof of my mouth for like a week and a half. And I can't handle it. But also don't want to get, I mean, obviously nobody does, but some people do brand themselves on purpose.
Yeah, it's a thing. Instead of, that like tattooing, people use it as a form of body art for themselves.
Right. Some of it's traditional too. Some people, some cultures do traditional branding for cultural. Anyways, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Don't listen to me.
No, there are groups of people that do it for a reason.
You guys, when I have opinions on things, I think about the fact that like I may not get it, but I know other people do it. You know what I'm saying? Like when I wouldn't brand myself, but also I don't want to put it down because I know culturally some people, that's part of their culture, that's their heritage and part of their culture. And you know what I'm saying? Well, that's what happened in the 80s and 90s. I did not go through that, but I had a lot of friends that went through that. It says I had a mental health moment, and I'm not going to put that on the public, but I'm not going to say who said it. If you're not in YouTube, too bad for your life. I had a mental health moment and I put out cigarettes on my arm. I had friends that did that. I cannot, I have to sit down to put a Band-Aid on a paper cut, you guys. I am not capable of physically harming myself on purpose like that. So I do it all inside my brain. I do it all inside my brain. I just hurt myself internally. But I can't physically hurt myself. Like you're like, I need a release. This is going to be great. And I'm like, I can't do that. So I just don't release it. It just stays dark in there.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you rather be able to record your thoughts or record your dreams while you sleep?
Oh God, say it again.
Would you rather be able to record like your general thoughts or record your dreams while you sleep?
Record my dreams while I sleep, because I don't generally remember my dreams or dreaming. When I do, there's a lot of crossover in real life, so I tend to like be like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And
I can tell you which one my therapist would want from me. My therapist would want the thoughts. My therapist was like, no, record the thoughts. I need to hear how this works.
Oh, I mean, because I guess I feel like I put my thoughts out there too a lot.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, I do too, but I feel like there's, we have those internal things that like the reason why it's dark in there, right? Is because of all the internal shit. I feel like my therapist would love like just a general recording of what the fuck's going on.
It's a journaling's for.
Yeah, I don't do that for him. I don't do that for him. Right. And then what if you need to like rewind? What was I saying? Or what was I thinking? What was on that list? I didn't say it, whatever. I
meaning of not forgetting what you needed.
I would
go upstairs.
I would say definitely my dreams. Because for the same reason, when I do remember my dreams, they're very, very prominent and informational for me, and usually have something to do with like how I need to handle situation, whatever the case, or who I need to be. They're like intuition for me. They're like, it's like I'm seeing the future almost. I know, don't listen. I know what I look like and what I just sounded like. Just bypass the fact that the white lady just said she was psychic. I did.
No, I mean, listen, we've talked about this in terms of listening to your own gut and yourself.
Yeah.
And whatever people label people want to put on it, is that whether you're in tune with yourself or not. And you are. And so
I'm becoming more in tune with myself.
It's
pretty
I feel like
amazing.
For me, it's a on and off. Like sometimes I got it and sometimes I don't. If I'm not paying attention, it's usually I don't recognize it until after it's happened, and I'm like, oh, look what I made happen, and that sucks. Because I wasn't direct about it.
I was actually talking to someone the other day, and I was saying that like I'm just trying to like really pay more attention to my intuition and those things, because I'm right. I'm not wrong. Like I'm right. And now I'm learning where I know, call me for your free reading. I have to dream about it first. I don't think I could do it on command. I'm not saying I could like read I probably could if I focused enough on I'll call it a gift if you want, on the thing. If I focused enough on wanting to do it and I actually was, it's like anything. If you build the skill, it will be built. It will, work better as you build the skill.
Exactly.
But I'm not reading none of y'all's futures. But I was talking to somebody the other day, and see, this is why I should record my thoughts, because like, where was I going to go with this? And I was telling her that, and she was like, having like a similar, like, I saw something, but then I ignored it kind of situation. And I was like, man, I do that all the time, but I know I'm right. Like, I know I'm right. I don't even doubt it. The only reason I doubt it in the moment is because you guys want to know why I doubt it in the moment. The reason I doubt it in the moment is because I don't want to hurt somebody that I don't need to hurt. So if I'm feeling a certain way about something, I won't even address it, because what if I'm wrong and I hurt this person? I don't want to hurt you. And then it turns out I was right. And I'm just like, fucking, and then I'm the one, but I sacrifice. I'm the one that gets hurt. That's how it works. So I won't listen to it because I don't want to hurt your feelings, your emotions, or whatever. And then I realize I was right, and I end up having hung out too long for that situation.
Right.
So it happens all the times, but also there's a lot of times where like I'll remember I was in a place in my dream, but I don't know what was happening in that place in my dream. And so I would love a recording of that. Is it a visual recording or an audio recording of your dreams?
I was just hoping it would be the whole shebang, like a movie.
And then your thoughts, would that be just an audio recording? I can't do that. That's in my head all day.
I feel like the thoughts, it should be presented to me some way, you know, like I text it out to me, you know, like in a book.
Yeah. Give me
of my thoughts, you know,
print out.
And it just, it's like magic, and it just automatically writes in the book as soon as you think it, and then
like it's a Harry Potter thing. Yes. Like it's
just the smoke in the you're the draw.
It would have to disappear for me. I walk around with that recording in my brain all day. I don't know if I could have an actual playback of it. I don't think I could do a playback of it. But my dreams are interesting. There's a dream I have, by the way. I've maybe talked to you about it. There's a dream I have about a house I live in. And it has a secret room. So in the dream, it's actually this house, because this is where I'm, I have this familiarity in my brain, I think. So my brain just is like, this is your house. Look, it's your house, right? But then there's and I've gotten a lot of feedback about what this could mean. This is a recurring dream. But then there's a secret passage. The stairs are wood and spiral, although I can smell the wood. I don't know different woods. I don't know what wood it is, but I can smell it. It's amazing. It smells amazing. And so it's like a spiral. I go up, and there's this vast space, and it's 2 different rooms. And one of them is filled with things. I don't know if they're my things. They may have been the previous owner's things, but I'm excited to see what's in the boxes and behind the curtains and the stuff.
Okay, so it's not just out and about things. It's
it's packed up like somebody left it there. Like if you were to go into an attic and nobody cleaned it out, kind of thing. Okay. But it's in a room, right? It's in a room all to itself. And it's an interesting room too, because it has also lots of built-in storage, like drawers and things like that. There's lots of built-in stuff like that. It's all built into the room. And then there's it looks like there's interesting stuff in there, right? But I haven't had a chance to go through it all at all. I feel like I've been in there a couple times and touched a couple things. And there's there's garment in there that I'll be like, oh, that's cute, whatever. But I haven't been in that room to really investigate. The other room is vast. It's giant. It has a bay window that looks out over usually a wooded area, sometimes a beach, but usually a rainforest type of wooded area where you could get in there and feel secure and ooh, yeah, that kind of like a forest. It's like a hollow, like a forest. It's like a little, like you build a fort, kind of like that. So that's the forest that I can look out on. I can look out on it, and it's giant. And then in this room, there's these big, huge wood, the pillars, they just took a tree and smoothed it out. And that's what is the foundation or the stabilization for this house, or for this part of the house. And there's steps up to a space where you could put a bed. There's not a bed in there. There's nothing in there. And I like to sit in there, and I like to just look out over the forest or the beach or whatever. And when I say look out over, I mean, I can see over stuff, but I'm also kind of engulfed in, it's around me. I can look, and it just feels like this.
Your bay window is more like a bubble,
into it. Yes. And I can definitely open them up. There's definitely been free flowing air in there on some of my dreams. And then I yell down to my husband, when are we going to move our bedroom up here? Like, we've been talking about it, and then I wake up.
How long have you had this reoccurring dream?
For years and years. I probably started recognizing it in the last 6 or 7 years. But I've had this dream. Like, I finally was like, damn, I've seen that before. I've seen it before. You know, and then I realized I've seen it in my dream.
Well, maybe this is the year that you're gonna move your fucking master bedroom up into that room.
I mean,
find it in Denver or near Denver.
Yeah, right.
I don't want you to be in Denver. I want you to be surrounding Denver.
Yeah, I don't want to be in Denver either. I want to be when I say I want to be in Denver, I mean I want to be in the surrounding areas of Denver. I want to be able to travel to Denver within 30 minutes to an hour. That is my goal. In general traffic. 30 minutes to an hour in general traffic. But yeah, I don't know why I keep having this dream. So some people have, there's some thoughts around this, and I've thought about these things too, but some people think that the room that is full of things is that I have things that I need to go through and unpack. Like, those are my things. Even if they're my past things, like even if they look really old, those are my things. Mm-hmm. And I am actually avoiding that room. So right. I don't really go in there and spend time in there. Right. Because I go into the empty room, because that empty room it feels more safe and secure, even though there's nothing in there.
Do you feel the need to unpack that other room though?
I feel like I want to know
being in there.
No. I feel like I want to know what's in there, but then I get preoccupied with wanting to go sit in the bay window and just feel safe. So I will leave it every time. I will leave it every time to go sit in the bay window.
I mean, that's.
I've tried. I'm
in my bedroom right now.
I've tried. I'm not so good at like lucid dreaming and controlling those things. And plus, you guys know, most of us don't really, if you're heavy smokers, there's a high likelihood you don't really have too many dreams. They are for some reason suppressed, and which is great for people with PTSD and things like that. But generally speaking, a lot of us don't dream. I mean, I would like to move the bed up. I would also like to know what's in the boxes, but I think I'm a little afraid to know what's in the boxes. But I wish I could control the dream enough so I could stay in there. Mm-hmm.
But that's probably part of the subconscious of not wanting to stay.
No, my subconscious does not want to stay in there at all, because I think what's in that room looks interesting. Like, it's piqued my interest, and I feel like I've thumbed through a couple of things here and there, but they were like not anything. They were like surface stuff. Like, if you walk into my room and you saw my wardrobe and you saw the pictures on my wall, right? They're all like the surface stuff that we can all see. But there's stuff in the boxes that I don't even look at. I don't even open to see what's in there, which would never be like me. You guys, if I walk into a space that has like old shit and boxes, I want to know. I'm going through your shit. I'm going through it. I'm gonna be honest. I'm nosy as fuck.
It's
if
like
I have such a hard time keeping my hands to myself if I see shit that looks interesting. If I walk through some shit and I want to know. I want to know the story behind this dress. I want to know everything.
That's how I definitely, I have some friends that have like knick-knacky houses, and I'm just very like, my eyes go wild, and I'm like, I am sorry that I am staring and my eyes are not focusing on you. And it's not.
No, I don't apologize.
Like, it's because I want to see and know everything. And I think that's also because that's how my granny's house was growing up. Yep. Is that she was an obsessive collector and of things, and so I tend to look, and I love to see, like, find if there's like little cool thing, like, oh,
I have hidden art in this room because I was like, don't apologize. The reason you put it out is because you wanted somebody to stare at it. right? Otherwise you will put it away. So I'm like, if you decorate your house with so much eye candy that I can't stop looking, that's not my fault.
Yeah.
That's not my fault at all. And if you walk, you've been in this room, but if you come into this room, there's a lot going on in here, but it all has like purpose. There's all a purpose to everything. I have quotes written on my walls. I fuck a Post-it. I do have Post-its, but I have literally written quotes on my wall, you know?
Yeah.
And like, yeah, I love that people like discover new things every time they visit this room.
Yep, I do. I see every time I
wait till it's a basement, girl.
Yeah.
When I have a whole basement to put this room in, watch out. Look out now. Look, this room is going to be epic. If I have a basement, I'm still going to keep my wardrobe in that space, but it'll probably be a bigger area to keep my wardrobe in. I'm going to have like I won't have to move
vanity. Oh, you should have a vanity where you can sit and do your makeup.
Yeah. I'm going to have like a little vanity in there. I'm going to have a little space where I can work out, where I don't have to like put my yoga mat away every time, because it's like in this time. And also in my basement, I'm assuming that a basement is pretty good size. I'm also going to block off and create rooms because why? Because I'm gonna grow down there. So
yeah, it just depends on usually the basements are the size of your house, so whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
And I've had people like that had whole separate bedrooms, like
exactly.
Others that were it was totally unfinished and just a big ass great room, so like yeah.
The only thing is that the only thing I want my basement, if the washer and dryer's down there, we gonna have to reroute. We gonna have to reroute that situation. That can't be the situation. Maybe in one of the grow spaces, like in the baby room or whatever, it could be in there. It could be in that space, because baby rooms keep 24/7s on the light. Usually.
Why are you whining?
Because she's like, you have 4 more minutes before you are at your time limit. She's putting us at a time limit.
Time check. She's definitely a time check. Yes. Granny Mary. Granny was our plant granny. She was the president, I think at one point, the president of her Fern Society, if not one of the offices.
I love that kind of stuff. That shit does that even exist anymore? Stuff like that?
No, but I have pictures. I kept them. Marla and I were going through all of our family photos and stuff, and I found articles from her. She won a few awards for her plants, and
that's beautiful.
Yeah.
I wonder if that exists on local levels anymore. I feel like it exists in like online communities, maybe, or
I think maybe in communities where they were established. I think some maybe smaller, or where there's still, I don't know. I wonder if Tampa still have a Fern Society, but
pass it down from generation to generation. Here's my ferns.
And she would go buy stuff from garage sales to go sell at her flea market stall, and vice versa. And then she had like a permanent garage sale in one of her garages. Like, it was set up for a garage sale, but no one ever shopped there.
It was set up. You could walk in and kind of like, oh my God, heaven.
Yeah.
Heaven. I love that. And then I love that shit.
And then her home, inside there were just every shelf had something on it. and and people wonder why I am the way I am. I'm like, it's
as much as I complain about older people not needing to be in office and things like that, you know what I'm saying? And like the way that I don't think that we should go back into the past by any means. I don't think that by any means. However, and also the idea of going through an old person's shit is just, I want it. I want to do it. I want to go through an interesting old person. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, I would spend hours and hours.
So she had canned and jarred and canned goods from, you know, the Depression. Yeah, and it was insane unearthing her, you know, parts of her home. Like I wasn't there for the whole thing, and I probably but my
I would be like, you have to drag me away. You have to be like, you have to leave now.
She had squirrels that responded to her. She called them her Gigi's, and she would step outside her door and she would call them, and they would all come, and she would feed them peanuts. And one time a squirrel got ballsy enough and ran up and grabbed her big toe because he thought it was a peanut.
She have to go get a tetanus shot or some shit like that, a rabies shot?
Nope. She was Granny Mary. She didn't.
No, we don't do doctors around here.
Her feet were tough. She walked around that yard barefoot, like, and her yard was like a big.
I'll do it, Kelly. Don't fuck around. I will do that shit. I want to see. I want to see all of his shit. I also want to find a mystery in there. I don't know. Like, I want to find a mystery and I want to solve it. I don't.
Did you? Yeah, she had she had a yard, and it was you walk through, and again, treasures. And I have a lot of her statue. I have a couple of her statues, yard statues. I have one of her yard statues. Mom and Dad have others.
Y'all, I can't.
But yeah, yard statues everywhere. A pond, you know, like it was, it was an amazing place to.
I love it. That's amazing. Unfortunately, my grandmother's house started kind of being a little dilapidated before she was taken to hospice. And so a lot of things were destroyed, unfortunately. But man, to have an opportunity to go through an old people don't get rid of shit, y'all. They keep everything. They really do. I mean, not anymore. But
like my parents have gotten rid of some stuff.
I was gonna say,
why did you get rid of that? And they're like, do you want this? I'm like, no, I wanted the things you threw away.
No, I was gonna say, not anymore. I'm talking about old people, like,
that's wrong.
like from, No, I'm talking about old, like they're 102 right now. I'm talking about they're in their 90s right now.
That would
like
be
those
granny, yes.
Like I'm talking about like 80s, 90s. That's what I'm talking about. No, I mean, baby boomers don't keep nothing. But I feel like the different thing, because baby boomers got things. They got things were kind of there for them. They got to go to college and not have to work. They got all this stuff. So there was always like new things being created. They just get that was happening even for baby boomers. But I feel like their parents were familiar with like depression and losing everything. So when they got things, that generation kept it, because you could lose everything tomorrow.
Yeah. It was crazy.
So when I say I want to go through an old person shit, I'm talking about an old person shit. I'm talking about a person that is on, Lord rest your soul, the universe, whatever, rest your soul. But on the way to the next one, I want to go through that person's shit. And if they're still kicking it, I want to hear the stories behind that shit. I want to sit and talk to them and hear about where this came from. Oh my God. It would be absolute fucking heaven. I would put my phone away for it. I swear I would.
You gotta record it. You gotta record it. It's history.
Well, I would also then put my phone away. I would hit record, and then I would also put my phone away. Tell me everything. You know what I'm saying? You guys, tell me everything. Send us an email, cannabiscloset420@gmail.com. Let us know if you would be interested in coming on and telling us everything. We should just have a segment, tell me everything. And then you could submit ooh, you guys could submit entries for Tell Me Everything, but it would just be like a one-liner. It would just be like, you get one line. You get 6 to 10 words to tell me why I want to hear everything. That's what you get. Hey, what's up? Yeah. I think that would be really cool if we could have see that suitcase. I want to know what's in it. I want to know what's in it, and it's probably got some valuable shit in there too, because shit from back then is like valuable as fuck. But yeah, we should write that out. Tell Me Everything segment. I want to do it. Then that way, if we did something like that, you wouldn't have to commit to a whole show. You would just have to commit to telling us everything on a part of a Wednesday show.
I think it's great. I think it'd be interesting. Like I said, I want to start something along the line of StoryCorps where we record moments of people's history.
Yeah, it would be really cool. Oh, I love that shit. Like, that kind of shit is what I wish we still had like access to. I mean, fuck all of the bullshit like sexism and racism shit, but like the access to those like sitting on the front porch and storytelling and like that kind of stuff, where we kind of like just lose sight of those things with technology. You know what I'm saying? Oh my God, I bet he wrote, I bet you could go through those journals and I bet there's some publishable, like you could probably publish some shit in there. You could probably make an interesting book out of that. I wonder what's in those journals. I'm so interested. I can't come to Oklahoma in 2 weeks, but
I know. I was like,
if I could teleport, somebody please invent and then also severely test teleportation. Because I need it. I have places to be. Okay. And please make it affordable and accessible for everybody to utilize. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Oh my God. I would die to see those kinds of things. I love it. I love that kind of history. And I was never interested in that shit when I was in like regular school. It was after I got out of school and like got into college that I was like, oh shit, I need to pay attention to this kind of stuff. And they made it interesting. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and that's I guess a cue is like, talk to your people that are alive. My parents are, like I said, they're old. My dad's 85, my mom's not far behind. And so, talk to those that you can and people that you meet, like I know you do. I know you are open to talking to people, and
I want to know
and
everything.
You have a great memory too. Like I have a shit memory, so like anything, like my dad wrote his memoirs, like I have his whole like bio and he adds to it every year, and so
it's so crazy that you say that. I remember things about other people, but if you asked me to write my own memoirs, I'd have to sit down with somebody and they would have to like talk me through it, which actually happened to me today. It happened. I'm working on I want to present at an event, and I'm working on a speaker application. I lost my train of thought for a second. So I'm working on a speaker application, and one of the parts in it says, give us a brief bio. And it's like, what? And then I'm just like, and then what? So I got on with my business mentor and she was like, okay, let's do this brain dump, boom, boom, boom. And then I found different spaces and different places that actually had pieces of my bio or had a bio for me that I just changed up a little bit. So we took all of those things and then we pulled and it's great. And, it came together nicely.
Nice.
So yeah, I have a hard time. And I also have definitely very poor memory of my childhood. Like things in like, I don't have it. I have pictures. If I have pictures, it's, but there's a picture. I talk about this a lot, and I feel bad about it. I don't feel bad. It's not my fault. It's my brain. But there's a picture that pops up every year. Somebody posts it and tags me in it. And it's a picture of, and I remember there's 2 people besides myself in that picture that I remember and know. I know them. I know their names. I know them. I spent a lot of time with them when and at their house. And so I know them, but I spent a lot of time with these other people too. I don't think I like did sleepovers or whatever with them or whatever. Maybe I did, but everybody else in that picture, I have zero clue. And they're like, we hung out with her every day. And I'm like, I don't, my little traumatized brain does not really remember anybody that didn't have like a distinct name, characteristic, or like influence, hard influence in my life back then.
Right.
Otherwise, even if I spent every day with you, I don't remember people's names from high school. I don't remember, and like people that I spent time with. I only remember of course I remember my core group, but I spent time with others and I don't remember names. I don't remember events and places, stuff like that. It's all from trauma, you know? It's all from like me just like, I'm not going to remember this time because there's like trauma in there that
there's
I
don't, things you don't want
that I don't care to unpack.
Yeah. Yeah. That.
Yeah.
I got you.
So,
I got you.
I want to unpack my boxes I want to unpack I would love to go through those boxes in that room. If that ever happens, y'all, I swear to God, I'll share it. I'll tell y'all what's in there. You know, I will. I'm pretty transparent over here.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, well, we've gone over 2 hours and you guys have hung in there for the whole thing and we appreciate you. This has been a great show. I hope Stanford's enjoying.
We jumped around.
Yeah, we did. I hope Stanford is enjoying his Survivor. And you guys don't forget to go check out his social media, Stanford Fraser, and we'll share it on our Cannabis Closet podcast Facebook page for sure. We'll share the little link to the challenge. We'd love to see him with blue hair, and we'd also love to see him win his primary. So he needs funds to do that, and he's doing it in the way that shows that he wants his boss to be his constituents and not big influences from corporations. So yeah. Yeah, that's the skill I want, and I don't have it because it was beaten out of me, y'all. But like there are people like old people can remember shit from like 1922. Like what in the fuck? I can't remember what happened.
Like that. Marla's like, remember this? I'm like, nope. She's like, absolutely. Remember this? I'm like, nope.
Anyway, well, some of us are blessed and some of us are not. I'm gonna probably be in some like assisted living, eating up the free food and that I pay for and not remembering fuck all. But if I have a blunt, I don't think I will care.
But I bet because you have a blunt, you're not going to be sitting there without a memory.
Probably not. Remember when we got this high? You guys, don't forget to be nice to yourself. Make sure you put your mask on before assisting others. It's super important.
Yeah, you can't help others if you don't.
Don't skip that self-care. Take even if it's just a minute to go. Even if it's that, just don't forget to love you.
Even if it's a minute, just to scream at the top of your lungs, like do it. Like,
into a pillow, you guys.
Anyway,
the kids are in the other room.
What you need to do it. Take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Cultivate love. Bring it to you.
You deserve it.
You deserve it.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, always
stay lifted.
Stay safe and lifted.
We will see you on Monday. But before we leave, I want everybody to also wish MJ a happy birthday. Because we're not having a show on her birthday. But she is still having a birthday.
I am happy birthday. It's a good birthday year. It's a good number.
It's a good number. Double
Nice and even.
digits.
Yep.
Yeah. I loved it. I love it. I loved it. It's great. So happy birthday, MJ. We will talk all about it on our Monday show. We'll see you on Memorial Day. We will not be pandering to you in American flag shirts. Not at all. We'll see you then. Love you guys.
Love you.
Stay lifted, everybody.
Thank you.